Before anything, earlier I was talking about being grateful for Venerable Michael. As many of you guys might have known, or I don't know who knows about this, the people who met him know, right? You guys met Venerable Michael last year when he was here. If you did not have an opportunity to meet him, you will this year. So last year he left us with the GMC tracker right before he left. So this is just a way to track your meditation minutes throughout the days. And when he left us with this gift, I just never got around to looking at it. And then when I finally did, I was like, wow, this is such a great tool. And you know, when he had come with Venerable Michael, that was already the middle of the year last year. And so towards the end of this year, I was thinking, you know, the Venerable took so much time in creating this tool for our community, and we should honor it by using it. So I should start. So I started using it, and then I just thought that it was very helpful. So I wanted to share it with all of us to ideally motivate all of us. If we can't do it for the whole year, that's fine. That's a big commitment. But let's just try to do it for 30 days going into the year. So I made it easy. Many of you, if you don't know this, it bogs me, but people don't know that we have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram page, and we also have a website. So if you don't know already, our website is meditationscircle.org. And we've got, you know, just basic information. But if you go to the bottom, you're going to see this new little link called Join Our Community Meditation Tracker. So if you've got your phone right now, let's do it. If you don't, then go to go to Meditation Circle later, and then you can always just put your minutes on, or if not, we actually have a QR code at the back as well that you can just scan your phone and it'll pull up. So it's very easy. It's so seamless. You don't have to register anything. All you have to do is literally click on the link, and then it's going to tell you the purpose of the page. And basically, I pretty much summarize what he put right there into the email. So if you got the email earlier today, it says the same thing pretty much. But all you have to do is go to, it's at the bottom, it's right here, how to use this page. Over to the right, you simply log your meditation minutes. You click that on your phone, on your laptop, whatever you've got access to. And you can also keep it on your phone on the homepage. And all you do is just it's so easy. You type in your name, and I don't really know how to use the iPad very well, but here we go. B-I, and then we meditate for about 40 minutes, and then submit. You do that every day, and then it'll track it. And the cool thing is when you go to the tracker, you go to the bottom, and you see everyone's minutes right there. That gets accumulated. So it breaks down to who is inserting their time. This has been reset to 2026. So if you did it in 2025, we're starting over. So I just thought that it would be a cool thing for us to try to utilize for at least 30 days to kind of help motivate us to meditate and build better habits. All right? So easy enough, that is a tool. With regards to the talk today, I've got two talks. One is very close to my heart, which is the history of our meditation group. The second is close to my heart too. It's talking about the pilgrimage walk that's going on right now. How many people know about the pilgrimage walk? It's really cool, right? Yeah, right? So many people started messaging me about this walk for peace that's happening in the United States. I think it started in DC, and it's starting in Texas, and it's going to DC. Thank you. Can you get me the slide? Okay, thank you. So I started getting messages about this about 2 weeks ago, and it just so happened that the day I found out about it, just through a text, I was at the center, at the Georgia Meditation Center on a Sunday, and some of our monks got invited to the temple that one of the other monks in the walks who got injured is an abbot at. And they were asked to, and I didn't connect the dots at the time. My mom's like, oh, there's a group of monks doing a pilgrimage walk. So I'm thinking nothing of it. This is a very common thing that Buddhist monks do. No big deal. Until I saw it on the news, and I'm like, whoa, this is a pretty big deal, because, you know, in Georgia they came and there were like 3,000 people at one location coming to welcome them. And I thought, wow, how amazing is it that so many people are supporting this walk. And many people have no idea that this is a very common practice. It's not something that was just all of a sudden they start doing. It's something that they've probably been doing for a long time. And it just so happens that they're like, let's do it in the United States since we are monks here too. So I felt that it was important to share with you guys what this is about, especially since you're connected to a Buddhist temple. It's good to understand what these walks are about and why monks would even want to do it. Just out of curiosity, without looking at the slides, no cheating, why do you think, I mean, I know I won't be able to tell if you guys are cheating or not, but why do you think a monk would take on this practice to walk? Anybody? Engagement, please. Thank you. Yes. What? Very good. Practice? Protest? Oh, I don't know about that one. Anybody else has anything anyone add? Yeah, this is much more intensive and intentional. It's more intentional. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes, Elsa. Yeah. So that's why I feel like this is very good for our members to understand why it's so significant. Do you want to say something, Nat? Exactly. Yep. Yeah. Right. Right. Right, yeah. So the day that I found out that our monks got invited, so my mom shared this with me about 2 weeks ago, and this is before I even realized what a big deal this walk was. My mom had mentioned that our monks got invited to the White Buddha Laos Temple because that's where Ajahn Dam is. That's his name, Dam. And he was part of the walk initially from Texas, and I don't know if people have been following it, but he got into a car accident and his leg got amputated. And I didn't know at the time how serious his condition was. All I knew is that our monks got invited to do a chanting and a blessing for him. So I said, what's going on? Like, why is it that serious? Like, why, if he's not dead, why are they going to chant and bless, do this for him? And then my mom shared with me to support him because it was a serious situation he was in. I didn't know at the time it was so serious that he was going to lose his leg, right? But he did. And by the way, he's an abbot in Snellville, so he's here, and he was part of the walk. And so, just sharing that with you. And that's how I found out about this walk. But again, even though I just found out about it, I already know about these walks, which are very common for Buddhist monks. This is a very common thing. It's just, I guess it's never really been, a lot of people here on the West just did never know about it. So it seems like this new thing that is just like, wow, this has never been done. But most important, I want you guys to understand why this is a part of being a monk and what the context behind these walks are. All right, so first of all, walking is a form of meditation. So when the monks are walking, they're meditating along the way. So for monks, this helps them continue with their mindfulness, and they practice in a different way by walking. And as they're moving, every step they're using awareness, because that's what meditation is just to be aware of what you're doing, being mindful of it. So literally when they're walking, and I know this isn't easy for us, but maybe, especially as practitioners already, we might be able to have a little bit of a understanding of it. Literally when you're walking, if you break down your walk step by step, that's what a monk is doing when they're on these pilgrimage walks. So in other words, in their mind, when they're lifting their foot, they say to themselves, I'm lifting my foot. My left foot is going up, my left foot is going down. Whatever the motion is to walk, they're literally doing this in their mind to kind of help them concentrate. On top of that, you know, another form is they're just like having this be the connection, all encompassing. And I'm going to share a little story. I might be deviating a little bit, but it's all going to tie in. So, one of our members, and many of you guys who've been coming for a while will know Pitan, right? Pitan just left. She went to Thailand about a month ago. But prior to that, she was the first woman 2 years ago, in 2023, actually 3 years, to get approval to walk a pilgrimage walk with the 100 Buddhist monks in India. And so she actually did a talk for us, a wisdom talk on a Sunday, that it was such a great talk. It was so powerful. Like, I wish it was recorded because it's just information that you want to retain forever because it's so good, because she lived it. She did it, and she didn't quit. It was like 1,600 something miles. It took 30 days, I think, or 3 months. 3 months. And it literally tracked it. It was a journey of all of the holy marks of the Buddha, where he was born, where he got enlightened in India. It was a 3-month walk that she did with the 100 monks. And she shared how she kept going. She shared how she was forced to be in the present moment where nothing else mattered. Of course, the question becomes, why would you do that to your, like, why would you do this? And she even gave us insight into why she decided to commit to this walk, because she wanted to improve her meditation. And she said at the end, it was like transformative, and she wanted to do it again. And I was listening to her story, and I'm like, there's no way you'd have to pay me. It sounds really, really difficult. But whatever the case, she did confirm this breath, body, mind unification in the walk. And then literally the streets become your meditation hall. All right. So instead of meditating, say, just doing sit-down meditation, this is a form of meditation, is walking meditation. Okay. Another reason why monks do this is they train to let go, because it's not comfortable. It's actually very uncomfortable to walk, because they've got these commitments when they're walking. They have this journey. They have to walk a certain miles a day. They can only eat, some monks only once a day, some twice. So they're on this very important discipline. It doesn't change. You know, they're not just walking to walk. They have a reason. They have a purpose. Schedule is controlled. There's another reason. And then, two, they just don't know. They don't know if they're going to get food. They're living in uncertainty, but that's okay, because they're living in the moment. And they also know that through their good deeds and their commitment, things are going to work out. So they're not even afraid of food. They just know that it's all going to work out, even though they have no idea. Yeah, one of the other reasons is to train to let go. And then cultivating humility and dependence. So, of course, you know, as you're walking on this journey, not all the time, but generally you're going to have people offering food to kind of support their mission and their journey as they're walking, because monks live on the generosity of lay people. You know, if a monk does not get offered food, they don't eat. They just can't go and be like, oh, let me go to McDonald's and pay for something. They literally have to get offered food by a layperson. Observe that. They do. And that is that check for them to not only take their role seriously, but also it's like a symbiotic relationship. By them taking on their morality and their discipline seriously, they will get taken care of. And if they don't, well, then they're not a good monk. Generally, that's kind of the idea. And then another thing, too, is because, you know, they're accepting food. This is just one of the roles of being a monk in terms of, you know, accepting food, being an ascetic, accepting the donations of people. It just kind of helps them build that humility for themselves, but also gratitude, and just become a better human being, and give an opportunity for people to do good deeds. Another thing is it strengthens their patience and endurance. And this is what Pitan talked about, actually, it was a way for her to train on her perfections. She says, you know, it's easy to train on my generosity. I could do that here. It's easy to train on my morality. I could do that here. But how do I train my perfection to be patient and endurance? And the Pali word for that is kanti. You're going to hear that a lot if you come to the center especially on a Sunday, kanti. So yeah, they're bracing against cold, against fear, getting hit by a car, right? I mean, but they're doing it because it's just a way to train themselves. And just, having this idea that really comes to life in terms of like being in the present moment and just the impermanence of feeling too. I'm cold now, but the next day it's hot and now I'm hot. So they observe these things as they're walking. Another thing, most often, why do the monks do this? They do this to generally pay homage. Like I was talking to you about Pitan going in India and doing this by retracing the Buddha's journey. That was her pilgrimage walk in 2023. In Thailand, by the way, our center does this every year. It's a very common practice to do a pilgrimage walk going into the new year. It's just a way to kind of like bless the land, bless the people, kind of like that energy of goodness as you start the new year. So right now, last week, we have over 1,400 monks right now walking a pilgrimage walk in Thailand. But it's in Thailand, so we don't get to hear about it that often. But it's okay. Now we've got the Walk for Peace. The 19 monks are doing a similar thing. In fact, I think it's more than 19 monks now. I think they're at 23, possibly. Like they picked more monks along the way. Yeah, okay. So for the one in Thailand, our monks, there's I think over 1,400 monks walking the pilgrimage walk right now for 30 days. It's going to end in early February. It's all over the Thai news if you want to check it out and Google it. They're doing the route of our great master, Mong Bu Sot. That's generally the route that they do going into the new year. And then number 6, as I was sharing, offering merit to the world or to the country or to people, the community. And then another thing is the silence definitely helps them remember what matters. It's a form of meditating as well. It's just another way to challenge themselves to build endurance, which is a perfection. So that's why monks would do it. So yeah, I thought that was really important to share this, the context of the pilgrimage walk for those people who come here, so you understand why a Buddhist monk would even do it. Like it's not just something that they do just to do, it's something that they do because it's inherent in their discipline. And so this right here, the Walk for Peace, a little bit about that. I think there's 19 monks, there's a little bit more. There's a dog named Alok. Are you guys familiar with him? He's very popular. He just hit the Time magazine, you guys. Isn't that crazy? When I saw Alok, I said to myself, that dog looks very similar to So. So was a dog that I had, but honestly, that's what it is. He was a dog that I had actually brought up to the class 3 years ago in 2023. I did a translation on So because I was so touched. Now, you guys, I'm not a dog person. I'm not a pet person. So for me to be touched where I was in tears of hearing about a dog named So and sharing it with the meditation group, I was really touched by this dog, right? And I remember seeing the dog So because the abbot of this temple that borders like Thailand, India, he paid a tribute to So on like an Instagram post. It was like a 5-minute kind of like little shout out to this dog named So. And it just so happened to kind of go across the country, whatever, but it was in Thai, right? So a lot of Thai people watched it. I got my hands on it, and that's when I cried. And then I wanted to share the story to our members because I was so touched. So I remember listening to it, and I was like, oh, I really want people of the center to hear the story. And then I started talking about it, and and Pitan's like, I know So. She's like, I walked with So in India that was 2024. She had just come back from the pilgrimage walk in 2023. She came back, it was like the end of the year or something. So she came back in 2024, and that's when So was actually in kind of his last part of life. So I was just so touched by the story. I started talking to people in the center. She's like, B, I know So. Yeah, he would bother me. He didn't like women because I was at the back of the pilgrimage walk with 100 monks, right? So, I saw this picture and I said, Pitan, this reminds me of So. So I sent her this because she's in Thailand right now. She says, B, I'm so happy to see this. She's like, I know all those monks. We walked together in India. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that amazing? I'm like, and she actually says it's a small world. She's like, if you see Venerable, I think his name's Panakara, the Venerable in the front, she's like, tell him I said hi. And I'm like, Pitan, do you know how impossible it is to like even get close to them right now? I'm not going to be able to. So yeah, I was just like, wow, that's so cool. I messaged her like last week to just let her know that, this dog looks just like so, because it's the same breed. Because this dog followed him from India, because he's part of the 100 monks that walked with Pitan. Isn't that cool, you guys? So with that, this is the pilgrimage walk going on right now in Thailand. We've got over 1,400 monks walking the track of our great masters to pay respect to our great master. Happens every year around this time. 1,400 monks, all right? But, we live here, so we're not going to hear about them unless you come to the Georgia Meditation Center. So with that, here's a little treat, my translation of so. So what happened was, after I translated on the spot, I don't know if it was on the spot, I don't remember, but it was 3 years ago, I translated it in our class. As the monk's talking, I'm talking and kind of pausing. And then I was like, you know what? I already have this translated. Why don't I put it up on like my TikTok, which I did. But only 80 people listened to it. And I posted it like 3 years ago. So it's been on there for a long time. But, I still have it. And I'm still very proud of it because the message is still relevant. And So and Alok are the same breed. Alok and So walk together with the monks. So it's a pretty connected journey, and I'm pretty sure, no one told me, but if I had to guess, So inspired Alok, right? So with that, Nat, do you have anything to add, because you listened to Pitan's talk too?
Oh yeah, she said that when when it came into perfection, she understood how the first four brighten the mind. Because it's easy to see how generosity brightens the mind. Easy to see how keeping the precepts and keeping yourself from getting too angry brightens the mind. Easy to see how renunciating things that you know aren't good for you brightens the mind. But then she was like, when it came to the higher level virtues, she had questions. How does effort brighten the mind? How does endurance brighten the mind? So that's why she did the walk. And to see what is it about these particular parts of the perfection that can actually contribute to my mind becoming as bright as possible. And she said she discovered it.
Yeah, he just has a better memory than I do. I just remember it was good. All right, so with that, I thought I might have gotten lucky or good enough to do this really quick so I could do my GMC history, but GMC history for another time. To me, GMC history is my go-to because it's part of who I am, so it's very easy to talk about. So I could do that anytime. I just felt like this was very appropriate because it's relevant. It's going on now, but most appropriate, like most importantly, you guys are here at the center, right? So I felt like it was good information for you to know what these pilgrimage walks are about, but also to know how connected we really are. And so this is So's journey, and here is a dog that inspired me, someone who doesn't like pets, but I'm kind of softening my heart towards that. People change. All right. So I'm about to do an on-the-spot translation. It's a very touching story that I feel is worthy of being shared. This is a story that happened in Thailand not that long ago, back in just maybe like 4 or 5 months ago. All right, so here we go. So is a pet dog with the heart of Buddhism. He's known in the community for those who come to do good deeds in this province. He would often do pilgrimage walks. Since 2016, we would often walk very far, and there was a dog that would come to walk closely with us and protect us. When other dogs or animals would come to bother the monks, he would chase them away. When monks would eat their midday meal, he would stay close by to also protect the monks and make sure that the animals were not bothering monks or try to take their food. He would wait until the monks would eat before he would start to eat his own meal.
From that point on, he has been the monk's dog every year and would do the pilgrimage walks, which was 1,677 miles. He would walk with the monks yearly since 2016, with the exception of 2 COVID years when the monks did not walk due to COVID and would stay at the temple. Every time monks would chant daily, So would go and listen in front of the temple. When monks would go to the canteen, he would go as well and stay close to the monks. Basically, wherever there were monks, So was close. When the abbot would give a blessing, he would look up as if he was accepting the blessing. And at the time that the monks would venture to Mahabodhi Temple, which is a temple that is the marking of the location of the Buddha's enlightenment, So would want to go to, he would hop onto the taxi and would follow the monks and go, where he would patiently listen to the monks chant. Therefore, it is appropriate to call So a pet dog with the heart of Buddhism. At this time, it is nearing his time. He's now 10 years old. With his protection and commitment to the pilgrimage walk, he had an accident while protecting one of the monks. A car was very close, and he put himself in the way to protect the monks. And this happened twice. This is possibly the reason why his life has been shortened. Now that it appears that his time is coming near, the monastic community at Wat Thai Puttagaya brought him to his favorite temple, the Mahabodhi Temple, and they chanted the Dhammacakka Sutta for him to listen to. And as he listened to the chanting, there was a Vietnamese lady to come offer a bag of rice to the monks. And So also had the opportunity to offer it as well and receive merit. So received recognition when a layperson noticed So's commitment to the monastic community and wrote a book about So called Rejoice in the Merits with So. People read this and felt compassion and love towards So. People from around the country donated money to So, which ended up being a fund set up for the monks. The fund accumulated a total of $100,000, and this is actually like almost 3 million baht, if I'm converting correctly, which has helped the monastic community for many years with food and necessities. So even though he is a dog, he still has been able to do lots of merit and good deeds in Buddhism. He took care of monks, listened to Dharma sermons, and had an opportunity to meditate with monks daily at the Bodhi tree. We believe when he enters the non-physical realm, his good deeds will be energy to take him to a good destination, and that this merit will stay with him to help him always and stay connected in the merit zone and have wisdom to see the truth of the world and one day reach the ultimate destination. This is an example of inspiration for those of you who are Buddhists, that even a dog that is not a human form has gratitude for the Buddha. Let us all use our time wisely.
What? So I posted it like 3 years ago. And the reason why it's a little choppy is because I'm trying to stay, as the monk is talking, I'm trying to stay consistent with his words so that it's like in sync with what he's saying, and I'm translating it because I liked it so much, because to me, I was inspired. And so point is, you guys, before Alok, there was So. Don't forget about So, right? And he was doing these pilgrimage walks, 100, over 16, probably about the same amount of time and the same amount of journey destination, 1,600 miles in 30 days. Actually, it was 3 months, I feel like, it took Pitan. I don't remember. It was 3 months. It was a 3-month journey. They were very, very committed. And I even heard Z actually was sharing her story when she got to an opportunity to hear the monks speak for the Walk for Peace. And she had mentioned that sometimes when the monks would come to certain areas, even though their intentions are so pure, they're doing it because this is who they are. But they would get chased away, even now here in the US. And I was just like, I was shocked. I was like, what time is it are we living in? But it reminded me that Pitan said that in India it was really bad because, there were villages that they'd pass that were like very Muslim and they would get like chewed away, chew, like no respect whatsoever. But the monks were never upset because they understood, that everyone has a different kind of level of wisdom and they've been taught a certain way, so you can't blame them for wanting to protect what they know. But yeah, So's name, I say So a lot, so I'm always like, I don't. It's just that it's a cool name. So it's a cool name, but I also say So a lot. I just hope you guys know the difference when I'm saying it, just to say it, versus when I'm talking about him. But yeah, it's hello. It's like a U.S. like whose name is So, but it is a good name. Regardless, though, I think his story is very inspiring because he was or is. He passed away 3 years ago. He walked with the monks for 10 years. He got hit 2 times protecting the monks, and he was so committed to his duty. And he's a dog, and he did good deeds. To me, that's really inspiring. He was able to inspire someone to write a book. It's in Thai, but nonetheless, they wrote a book on him. And because of that book, the temple would get funds and donations, so much so that it was $100,000 enough to take, to provide food and necessities for the monk because of So. But I feel like Alok could do the same thing. He's on Time Magazine right now. But how many people knew, though, that before Alok was So? They're all connected. Yes, go ahead. Oh, yeah. And what's even more amazing or cool is the fact that these monks are very familiar with this. They're true monks. They walked in India with So. So, I just thought that it was a very cool story, and I wanted to share it with you guys so that you could have a little bit so you can have a little bit more context and also feel even more connected to what's going on with the Walk for Peace.